Hello, everybody. It's Michelle here with Angel Souls, and this is our April 2025 Angelic Message Overview. Now, this is timeless, just releasing it around April 2025. But if you come across this later on, go ahead and listen to it. There could be something there for you. So we're going to do an overview for everybody for the month, and then we are going to break it down into signs. So you can look up your sun, moon, and rising, or even watch for your Venus sign if you would like to. Okay. Now, first and foremost, I'll save the cards for the individual signs. But as far as an angelic message coming through for April, this is where we're going to have a little bit, our feathers are going to be ruffled a bit. And the reason for that is you're waking up, you're looking around, you're going, I don't have to put up with this. Or I need to take accountability. That's just one way that this could play out. What do we mean by accountability? Well, waking up and going, you know what? I don't have a record deal because I don't practice my music, or I didn't get cast in this, that, and the other because I'm not auditioning, or I didn't get my book published because I'm not sending it out to literary agents who can help me do that. So this is the time where it's that realization is hitting that things are not happening because you have not had the energy or the strength to make it happen. Now, what has been going on around that? Well, it's a lot of survival mode, isn't it? A lot of survival mode. You might still be in that. You're going to be in that for a bit of time, but at least now you know how to direct your dreams. Even if you feel like there's just nothing but vastness in front of you, see that as a field of potential and not something that's going to scatter you, disperse you, or leave you floating and abandoned. Okay, so I hope that is making some sense there. Now, April can be, I'm getting this feeling, and I'm in it too, where we're just tired. We're fed up. We're tired of being used. We're tired of being taken for granted. We're tired of being silenced. Now, I'm not promising that all turns around in a month's time, okay? But we are starting to wake up and starting to come together a little bit more. Now, I want to let you know I am doing each of the signs weekly as well. As if you've been following me for any bit of time, you know I test run certain forms of content. If there's no interest, I stop doing them. So I'm giving these monthlies a run yet again. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and I'm going to be doing the weeklies here too. So just let me know, comment down below, what do you prefer to see? What kind of content do you want out there? Okay. By me with the angels. The other thing here too, and I'll be making a whole Gumroad video about this, AI in the spirituality realm. Ooh, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that. Oh my God. So I will be getting that information collected. I'm doing a little research for that right now. Please make sure you're following me on all my socials so that you know when I put that up and you can catch that information. So back to April 2025, in a general sense, this is, I feel like there could be a little bit of anger here, more than a little bit. It is the waking up and realizing how much you've been taken advantage of in your job, how underpaid you are, or how some of you have not been able to process your pain. It's like you're not allowed to feel anything. You're not allowed to get upset. And on the flip side, though, the good thing, though, is that we're going to start coming back at people. This might be careful with this, I suppose, but some of you are coming back at bosses and being like, no, you're not going to talk to me like this. But keep an eye out for people who want to shut you down when you start having an emotion. So let's take a work scenario, okay? Because I think this could be, relatable to a lot of people. And, something obnoxious is going on, and you have been patient and patient and patient and patient. And then finally something else happens that could have been prevented. Now, I'm not talking about things that were beyond anybody's control. I'm talking about it's because someone messed up that now you've got, double, triple the work. And you say, you know what? Why are we allowing this to happen? And someone starts calling you sassy or feisty, especially if you're a woman. That is a way to silence you. That is a, whoa, you better cool it and watch your mouth kind of saying. Now, some of you out there are guilty of using those words, okay? And you might be like, oh, that's so mean of you to say, Michelle. How can you? You're being sassy right now. No, I mean, I guess, yes, some people use those terms in different ways, but be careful. Be careful. I know that whenever I have started to express an emotion or trying to set a boundary, one of the fastest ways someone tries, it's usually someone who's pretty toxic themselves, tries to stop me is by diminishing what I'm saying or being dismissive. Okay, so this is a good example of something that might be occurring over the course of this month. And I don't know whether a lot of you will say anything or not. Some of you will. And yet others of you will just start looking for another job and say, no, we're not playing these games. I'm not doing this. Okay, could play in a relationship as well, where maybe your partner keeps talking down to you. Pay attention to anybody who talks over you. They will not let you talk. Or they're not interested in having a conversation. They just want a captive audience because they're self-centered and self-indulgent. This is something else that you're going to be walking away from. I talk about this stuff a lot, but I think this is the energy of this month, that you're just ready to take action. You're ready to move things along, not here for the nonsense. Okay. Health-wise, for a lot of you, I just got confirmation in my ear. A little weird thing just happened in my ear. Let me just sit with this for a second. You know, when we're in survival mode, it's very hard to do self-care. I personally am at the largest weight the biggest weight I've ever been in my life, even though I've never really been thin. It's a problem. And watch out, because a lot of people who are also the same ones who would call you sassy or tell you that you had a chip on your shoulder or whatever because you're having an emotion, a very understandable emotion, that's a similar kind of personality that would tell you, you got to make time to work out. You got to do this. You got to do that. Or you got to eat well. Do you not understand depression? Do you not understand anxiety? Do you not understand how terrified some people are out here? Or how we're so spread thin that we don't have time to do stuff like that? Oh, it's just an excuse. May it come back to you times 10. Because it's time these people start getting their karma and shutting up. Don't you agree? Leave your comments down below. So I'm throwing it out there like that in sort of a general sense. I'm sure you guys are going to have an opinion about that. Again, let me know your opinions. I want to know what you're experiencing right now. So from this point, we will go on to each of the signs. If you want to get a personal reading with me, go to angelsouls444.com. I will be, if nothing happens to the internet, it is a stormy season. And I know this sounds like really weird to some of you, depending on where you're watching from around the world. But storms make things fall apart and makes it so we don't have the internet. Okay, sometimes. And I've lived a lot of places where we get all these crazy storms and, that stuff happens. But if none of that goes down, then I should be pretty caught up on personal readings here in the next few days. Okay, so if you've, again, followed me for any length of time, now is the time to get in line. No promises, because I never know what's going to happen. Okay. But I will try to get your reading to you ahead of the deadline, if at all possible. But I do ask people to not start inquiring about their readings until after it's due, okay? I hope you can understand. Otherwise, I'm stopping constantly to look up someone's reading request that was just put in a day ago when there is a line and there are people ahead of you. Does that make sense? Okay. So I think we've covered everything there. Live reading sessions, email madeangelsouls444@gmail.com. Those are very limited spots. I'll see. A lot of times, if you tell me what your availability is, you got to tell me what part of the world you're in as well, because taxes matter, okay? So sometimes we have to, maybe I can't do a reading for you, but we can see. Let me know what your schedule is, and I do what I can on my end to move things around to accommodate that, okay? Again, that's not always a guarantee, but I try. All right, I try. So email me there to see what is available. Let's get on to the signs. Hello, Aries. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. Again, if, okay, first of all, careful, because some of you are shooting ahead really quickly because now it feels like the gate has been unlocked. and I see a horse race. It's that kind of feeling where it's like, now I can go. Now I can make things happen. But as I was just trying to shuffle the cards started to go everywhere. So you might have a little messy start here. just make sure you're thinking before you just go rushing ahead on something. Also, watch being cruel to someone. Some of you might take that, if you've watched the general part of this message, which applies to everybody, you might get your fed up moment and have kind of a fiery outburst. Let's see. Just be careful. Just be mindful. 8 of Michael. Oh my gosh, I just said it's like the gate just opened. Is that going to focus? I used to hold them up like this, and sometimes they don't focus. There we go. She's coming out of the gate. You can't make this stuff up. I love spiritual things. Let me know if you do too. Okay. 8 of Michael, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation. Yes, that. Not seeing things clearly. So that's the part for you guys that you got to be really careful about how you're coming at a situation or even at people. You want to be careful about blaming. Again, this month is very much about accountability. When I get frustrated, this is how I behave. Now, I was also saying in the general part of this that we don't want anybody silencing us or telling us we're not allowed to have feelings or that we're not supposed to set boundaries. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're being fair. Okay, but the gate is open. All right. 7 of Ariel. You have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. So not everything is going to bloom here in April for you, but boy, are things getting set up. And that's more of the angelic mediumship part of this reading, not necessarily the cards, but there's something here. It's like, I've been working on something. I'm ready to bring it to light. That might be more like May, June, that you actually get it out there. Or there's so many people looking for different jobs right now, because part of the paradigm shift that I'm going to do a whole video on, that will be on Gumroad. Make sure you're watching for the post and the announcement for that. But part of that paradigm shift would be in how we exist day to day. We are not willing to let someone make us feel like we're subhuman so that they feel more powerful, or use us as good little worker bees just so that they can get ahead, right? So there's going to be a lot of that going on. There's something you've been training for. There's something you've been studying for. For some of you, it could be, I got to watch this hair, because if you know me, this hair is wild. Anyway, it gets stuck on my shirt. It's the whole thing. So I think what's happening here is you might have been training for a promotion, and you're ready to start putting things into motion. Yes. So there's that portion of it. Let's see what else we have. Epiphany. I'm telling you, this is such a big awakening time for people. There are some concerns around this and some cautions that need to be taken here. So this could be some of you doing that next round of spiritual awakening, and now you feel like Superman, and you're going to go out there and you're going to let your ego get out of control and think that you're better than everybody because you've got things figured out and they don't, right? This sort of thing. It's the number 9. You have completed the lesson, whatever that is for you as an individual. All right. Again, angelsouls444.com if you would like to get a reading with me. But this is a chapter done, but it's not gone yet. So think of this, the number 9 is sort of like, okay, I finished all my courses, exams are over, but I haven't gone through graduation yet. Yes? Okay. Epiphany, Archangel Raziel. Raziel is going to come in here and help you manifest and help you see your way out of the darkness and help you to see the blessings and things that seem like it was holding you back. Okay. Helping you break through that. Joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Answers that come through meditation. So be happy with this. Like this is, I know you're probably tired. Everyone's tired right now. Everyone's trying to find their way, figure things out. But you're going to realize soon that you've done a better job than you thought possible. It's the end of a chapter. 10 of Michael. A situation has ended and you are finally free. That's the key part. You are finally free. Okay? So something that's coming to an end doesn't actually have to be a bad thing. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. put the past behind you. Now, see, a lot of us, when things are not going well in our lives, especially if you're a hard worker, you're going to double down, you're going to try harder, I'm going to do better, all these things. But sometimes, like doubling down, like I'm going to use my profession as an example. When times are tough, I'm like, well, I just got to remind people that I'm here, to do this and that and the other, especially live readings are a perfect example of this, that I'm here for live readings. But then sometimes I realize, well, some of the people that come in for those live readings, they take advantage. They take more time than they pay for. They sit there and roll their eyes throughout the entire thing. They're being disrespectful. Sometimes they won't pay, and I'm like, maybe that's not the solution. Maybe that's the holdup. Maybe I do need to back up and not offer myself in that way. I did that when going live on social media. Why am I going to go and let people have access to my energy when that might be the very thing that's holding me up? So switching gears and going, okay, how can I do my life's path and do my life's work, but in a way that's not going to open me up for siphoning? Okay, so that's where we're going to leave it for you all. I am sending you all so much love and take care. Hello, Taurus. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. I feel how you are all just like, I am tired of moving. I'm tired of not maybe literally moving, but just tired in general. And just, I think we all are. This is I'm feeling this already for a couple of signs, but just stop trying to take me out of my comfort zone. Right? Because a lot of times we're told, hey, that's the way to live. Like, that's a good thing to be outside your comfort zone. But I think you have been stretched for years on end and you've cooperated. You've gotten out there. Most of you have gotten out there and you've done what you need to do. And now it's sort of like, get off my back. I don't know. There's something big coming up with you guys where you're like, I'm done. Some of you may be quitting. You may be quitting a job, quitting a relationship. Something. Page of Ariel, because you want to refresh. You're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this nonsense. It's time to take a different turn. Reliable, clever, educated, balanced. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships are the pursuit of education. Time to get to work. Yeah. Ariel is money. Well, Ariel is the angel that helps us with material manifestation. And that often includes abundance, prosperity, being connected to this earth realm, being able to take care of ourselves. So I think this could be a new job opportunity coming to you, or you're taking charge of a dream, not in this mental forcing kind of way, but in let me just step by step see if I were to open up to this again, where does it take me? Six of Raphael, revisiting the past, revisiting maybe someone from the past. And this is also honoring your inner child. So if you've had a dream since you were young, okay, let's say you wanted to be a ballerina and everyone said you can't be a ballerina. You have the biggest feet and you're just going to be clopping around and you can't dance with those things, right? Or whatever stupid thing people tell us when we're kids, right? To discourage us. And now maybe, let's say you're 85 and you're like, well, I don't know that you can always do anything you want, make sure you're safe in doing it. But maybe for yourself, you're saying, I'm not going to choose to study ballet at this age, but maybe I can take a course here and there that just helps me in a healthy, safe way move my body. It could be something like that. Now, for some of you, it is, you know what? I had a talent when I was a kid and I didn't nurture it because I was afraid of the commitment it would take. Or I was once a dancer, but I got this injury and now there is a way to correct that injury. Something's going on here where it's like, oh, that was a problem. Here's the solution. Oh, that was the holdup. Here's the way through that. For some of you, this is going to be realizing maybe something about how your mind works. Yes. So some of you might be realizing, my brain doesn't work like everybody else's, and I have to respect that and honor it. So Six of Raphael, embrace your inner child. New friends or rekindled relationships children, or childhood. So again, there's something here with the Page of Ariel and now this Six of Raphael. It's a very healing. Raphael's about healing, connecting with something that you love. And it's giving this feeling of, I'm not just going to choose something in my life because that's what I'm supposed to do. I want to go for something or towards things that I love. Careful though, okay? Because you could get a little in your dreamland and it's not coming to fruition. Ariel helps things come to fruition. That was the first card that we had. The Seven of Raphael says time to make a decision. Part of your aha, that's why it hasn't been happening, is because you haven't told the universe through your energy field that I'm ready for this. And that's okay. Some of you are explorer souls. You are experiencer souls. So you came here to get a little taste of everything. And then you might get to a certain place in your life and go, why have I not become successful at any one thing? Because I'm a jack of all trades, right? So this is saying, okay, that might have served you at one point, but if you want to have success, if you want to feel like you are building something into a form of mastery, then you have to make a decision to do that and to commit to it, okay? Now, you don't have to sacrifice everything. We want to be balanced, but I'm just saying, like, maybe some of us have been a little too dispersed in what we're going after. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification, okay. Do some spiritual work here. And Ariel helps with detoxifying as well, along with Michael. So that's going to help unlock things by doing that bit of spiritual work. Epiphany. Aries just got this too. The number 9, and as I was saying to Aries, the number 9 is sort of like going through all your coursework and it's all done. You're done with your exams, but you haven't graduated yet. Yes? So there's a big lesson that is now complete. And as time goes on, you'll start to see that completion manifest in a physical way in your world. Angelsouls444.com if you want a personal reading to see how that's going to shake out for you. Okay? Epiphany, Archangel Raziel. Raziel's going to help bring through some blessings despite all the darkness or despite everything that's been going on, bringing something good out of it. I was just on social media and I saw this video of a guy. It was just a quick snippet. I can't begin to describe the face he had, but the caption was, I'm so tired. And it looked like he was like in this like numbed out, almost in shock kind of state. And it was terrifying. And my heart goes out to him. I hope he's safe. But I think that's where a lot of people are, where they just can't make sense. It's like everything I try to do to help myself doesn't work out. Well, part of the epiphany for you and what Raziel's helping you do is to figure that out. And sometimes it's the opposite of what you think. Sometimes you might think you got to go harder on something when really you need to back off. Okay? Joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Answers that come through meditation. Almost dropped the cards here. The 2 Raphael cards there, I think there's not just a need to detox. There's a need to do some heart healing. We're a work in progress always. So I know a lot of people love to like roll their eyes and like, oh my gosh, the spiritual messages always involve healing. Yeah. What did you think? You think you were going to get off easy? What are you here for? Okay. Anyway, this is part of your awakening, is realizing that how you've lived is not how you want to keep living. Going forward. You want to switch things up. You want to not accept the game playing where maybe you did before because it's all you had, or you thought that it was going to be a good choice. It ended up not being a good choice. You feel me? But you're adjusting and you're shifting. So we're going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love and take care. Hi there, Gemini. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. Make sure you watch the overview. You'll want to see it. Okay, we're building upon that message. Don't skip it. All right. Let's see what's happening for all of you. There could be something that feels like a big opportunity that's opening up. And this was just flipping out of the deck. This is Ace of Michael. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So here you are. You're being very mentally led. So whatever opportunity is popping up, it could be that you created this opportunity for yourself. Maybe you had this great idea and you're bringing it to fruition. Or you're going to people who, you have their ear, and so you're telling them, hey, I could do this, this, and this differently. Careful though. Careful, because you're going in just with the intellect at first. You're not taking into consideration how this is going to affect you emotionally, or how it might affect others around you emotionally, like maybe your family, because you're moving too fast. 8 of Gabriel. You all are taking off. I'm telling you, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. So here again, there are a lot of ideas coming, a lot of things that you want to make happen, and you just start going like a machine. You're just going, going, going. But these 2 cards both talk about communication. Careful, because you might be, I think you end up promising more than you can deliver. And then you start putting pressure on people around you to make it happen. So let's say, I don't know, you're the breadwinner of your family, or, you're one of the breadwinners of your family, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to take off in this direction. And then you end up getting a job offer that's in a different city. Maybe your partner and your children don't want to move there. It's always been wild to me to watch these TV shows where, like, it's usually the dad who comes home and is like, family, we're moving away. And they're like, excuse me, what? And he just made a decision because he wanted to do a career move that was good for him. You see what I'm saying? So don't be that person. Or you're the boss and you're trying to tell your boss, yes, I can deliver. And then you realize, oh, no, I can't. And then going around to all your employees and screaming at them and telling them that they have to work harder when they never agreed to that. You did that, right? You're the one who made that move and couldn't back up the promise. Okay. So be very careful with that. This isn't a bad thing, but I'm just saying with the communication part, you want to make sure you don't mess up the opportunity. King of Ariel, you guys are getting a promotion or something's happening here, or some money could be coming back to you, or you're figuring out your finances so that they work better for you. Yes. Successful. We like that. Stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success. Using resources wisely. This is lining up quite nicely for all of you. This could be some exceptional news. So if you are waiting for a way of life, this isn't just a job, okay? It's not just that. This is a way of life. You're figuring out what hobbies you want to be involved with. You're figuring out what job, what career you are going to engage in. But it's more than that. What am I going to put my energy into? So you're reevaluating that. Solutions. The number is 14. Now in angel numbers, we would add the 1 and the 4, and we would make that a 5. 5 is transformation. If we keep the numbers separate, 1 is about independence. It's being forward thinking. It's the innovator. It's someone who is the pioneer. They're at the front of the pack. 4 is being guided by angels, your guardian angels, 5th dimensional beings that are at the same level of your higher self. So that combo there, and then you're bringing that energy together to create transformation. You might be the one with the solutions, but just be careful that you're not, again, promising too much and then expecting other people to fulfill your promises. Yeah? Or to back you up when you didn't consult with them. Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel is associated with the violet flame and basically transmutation. Now, I was using the word transformation with the number 5. Zadkiel helps us take what we already know and put a light on it. And we put a light on it by burning away safely, burning away things that don't serve us or that have been clouding our judgment, clouding our perception. And when that falls away, the solution is abundantly clear. Success that comes, there's that word again, success. Y'all got to write in the comments and let me know how this goes. If it doesn't work out like that for you, angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading. You can see what's going on there, see what obstacles are there, okay? Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So something's breaking open here. You find your way forward. I don't know what to tell y'all. Tread lightly. Don't burn yourselves out. But something lovely could be opening up here for you. All right, we're going to leave it there for you all. I'm sending you all so much love and take care. Hello, Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. I'm hearing up, up and away. I don't know how much of that song I can sing, but this, for you guys right off the bat, I'm not feeling like it. I mean, it could be some external things that are happening, but for you, it's changing your internal landscape, leaning on your intuition. So, first and foremost, weird dreams. Watch out for those. Some of them can be obviously very symbolic and trying to get you to awaken to some, certain things that are happening and getting you to see that perhaps your perspective is skewed, that not everybody has a right to your energy. Even though they're going to convince you that they do, you don't owe anybody anything. If you want to quit that job, listen, you do what you feel is right. I'm not trying to give, advice around that. But I will say a lot of people who do talk about career stuff out in the world, I think they have an excellent point when they say an employer would never give you notice if they were going to fire you. Just saying. Okay. So I think you're going, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of having to sacrifice myself to be there for everybody else. I'm tired of being misunderstood. Tired of people jumping to conclusions about me. Tired of people seeing me as weak for some of you. Or silly. Because maybe you are a little more open emotionally. Let's see. Oh, I got two of them that came out together. So there's the King of Michael and the Magician. So let's take the King of Michael first. Principled, rational, ambitious, respected. This is what I think you've been lacking. And this is what I think is like your final moment of like, okay, you've been talking to me like I'm a little intern, but I'm a leader. And I don't mind playing by your rules as long as I'm respected. But you went outside the lines. You didn't respect me. And now I got to remind you, this is the energy I carry. King of Michael, principled, rational, ambitious, respected, wisdom, and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. Again, I think this is very much reminding someone, I'm not to be walked on. I'm not a pushover. Not a pushover. But this came out with the Magician. And the Magician card is the number one. The number one is the innovator, the leader, the independent one, the one that isn't going to sit around crying, waiting for someone to save them, but rather goes out and figures out what they need to create to have the happiest life, right? It's Archangel Raziel. Raziel's a wonderful archangel to work with because he helps you find the hope and the blessings in the darkness. I've said for years and years, he's a rainbow on a night sky. And yes, if you've watched my videos, I always like to point out that people have plagiarized me saying that in their videos. I've heard verbatim them use that phrase. But whatever. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So you are going to go where you are appreciated, whether that's in love, a job, friend groups, family. You don't. It's kind of the motto of you don't get my time if you don't show me love and respect. If you're constantly fighting me, or if you're constantly just assuming I have to take care of your stuff. How many of you have jobs where you can't just do your own job? Other people who, for whatever reason, look down upon you think that they can just take the stuff they don't feel like doing and throw it on you. Or you do have a boss who is not conscientious about how things are going to affect you because they just see you as paid to like keep up with them and they end up making a huge mess. Those kinds of things. So the Magician here is helping you. Well, first we have the King of Michael kind of standing up and getting back in your power and then going, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I need to head in this direction. And you do it. Yeah, you do it. 10 of Raphael. You're creating your own happiness and you're saying, y'all get out of my way. So it says, love and blessings fill your life. Harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. So yes, this is, prioritizing your family if you have been working too hard. But if you are by yourself out there, you find that there is happiness, maybe with another person. or you finally, yeah, they're saying because you kind of reset and you step more into your authentic self. That's, I think, essentially what's going on here. There's a process that's opening up for you. This helps you open up to reconnecting with someone if they're worth reconnecting to. Sometimes they're not, okay? Or if you have children, you're making time for your children, making time for family. And, I'll use myself as an example. This past week, I had a lot of stuff that everyone was expecting me to do, to turn in, to pay attention to. And my nephew, I don't have any kids of my own, but my nephew's like my kid. And he called on me and said, Michelle, actually he says, Michelle, are you busy? Can you come on over? And I said, yes, I absolutely can. I dropped everything and I went to go spend time with my little guy. Okay. Because he's my priority. My family is my priority. Like, everything else can wait. Everyone else's expectations can wait. And don't forget, a lot of why people act like this is because they like to have power over other people. And that's what you're coming back from. And going, no. I usually like to keep the peace around here, but it's me just allowing myself to get pushed around in order to keep the peace. And we're not doing that anymore. Right? And 9 of Michael. Okay, so you're standing up for yourself and then feeling guilty for standing up for yourself. This might be a big pattern of yours. Okay, yeah, I did it, but now I'm overreacting to it, or maybe not overreacting. That's like diminishing of your response. I apologize for that. But maybe overthinking it, right? And going, gosh, did I upset people? No, I don't care if I upset people, but I kind of do care if I upset people. Or, does that person hate me? I don't know if they hate me. That sort of thing. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. It's standing up and being strong. And then when people are completely thrown that you stood up for yourself, you start to feel guilty for it. You have nothing to feel guilty for. Angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading and see how this is going to play out for you. But otherwise, we're going to leave it there for you all. I'm sending you all so much love and take care. Hello, Leo. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. Shine. Okay, so there's a little something here where you get to shine, but it feels like a glimmer. It's a moment. But it could be something that you have been really, really hoping to achieve. And then the outcome is sort of like, okay, that was nice, but it wasn't great. It's like I got to shine for a moment. I got to show what I could do. And now my curiosity about a certain goal or a path, has been satisfied. Now I know. All right. Page of Gabriel. So an emotional reset, allowing some creative energy to come on out, but slowly and learning as you go kind of feeling here. Energetic, brave, optimistic, playful. Follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge, opportunities for excitement and adventure. So there's a fresh beginning here. And this can be something that's very, again, soothing for your emotions. The sacral chakra, which is what Gabriel oversees, along with the heart chakra, that's Raphael. This is where we store a lot of our emotional energy. And so in that sacral chakra with Gabriel here, the page of Gabriel, it's showing that whatever you start going towards, it's unlocking something there. So this can be like, don't underestimate how powerful this could be. This could be something that if you were told you can't do X, Y, and Z, then now you're figuring out, yes, I can. I was just watching, I wish I could remember this verbatim. Forgive me. This is not verbatim. It's just me off the top of my head. But I think it was Marc Jacobs was doing an interview. Double check me and see if I'm right on this. If I remember correctly, I think it was Marc Jacobs who was like, I saw this young man on one of the social media platforms and he had these long nails. And, I always remember being told I can't do that. And then I see this young man doing it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear long nails and I'm going to do it. And I, haven't looked back since. And it feels like that sort of energy for you all, where it's like, I was always told I couldn't, and I believed that I couldn't, but I got inspired. Someone showed me, yeah, you can. And I believe them, and I'm going to try it myself. Right? And so you might have a moment where you're not going to look back. Okay. Page. Okay, so another reset here. Page of Ariel, reliable, clever, educated, balanced. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education, time to get to work. Now, for some of you, this could literally be getting accepted to college, getting accepted into a program, or if you're already out in your profession, this could be some sort of like job specific university. Do you see what I'm saying? Where like you go off and you do a training, something along those lines. But there's something that is just getting started here. It's just being birthed. Nine of Raphael. Okay, make a wish. Dreams become reality. A joyful time of life. You're getting a second chance at something and you're getting a redo. You're getting to go back to school. You're getting to maybe, I don't know, you're learning on your own maybe about how to start your own business. Or if you've owned your own business for a while and you're like, you know what? I just want to see what I could have done if I worked with this sort of team and whatever. Careful, because you're getting what you're manifesting here. But I love this restart feeling, a second chance. And that Nine of Raphael almost makes me wonder if you're not going back to recapture an old goal. Okay, so we have divine guidance here. The number is 5. So 5 is transformational. Something's flipping around really quickly this month. Now with angelic messaging, the time is not as concrete as like with astrology or tarot. Those are more fourth dimensional energies. That's cool, useful, very, very helpful. But they're more dependent upon time. Whereas angelic guidance is more about the big picture and things to be aware of to help you along on your soul's path. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So this is Archangel Sandalphon, who helps you be balanced, get into alignment with all of your chakras. The search for meaning in life. That's big. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. You need a lot of support as you go through this because a lot of people are going to be telling you that your ideas are crazy. You can't start over at your age, right? The fear mongering of who's going to hire you if you leave that position that's been treating you like crap for 30 years and probably would back out on your pension or something at the last minute or whatever, right? You can't abandon them. You're going, you know what? I'm going to focus on the guidance that's coming through me, and I'm going to make choices that are healthy for my existence, right? For some reason too here, there's like, whatever you chose to do when you were 18 years old, someone is trying to hold you to that. And we all do this, right? Especially if you went to college. It's like, I really should be using my college degree. I've shared this with other people. I have an undergrad degree from Ohio State University in theater, which taught me a lot of stuff. People laugh at that degree. It's nothing to laugh at. First of all, you couldn't be a wimp and get that degree. It was very difficult. You had to be very well versed in a lot of different areas. And then I have a Master of Fine Arts degree from New School University in creative writing. Now, you might think, well, what the heck do you ever do with it? Those acting and directing lessons, and I had to learn how to build a set and sew costumes. Oh, yes. It was a whole thing. That's what I'm saying. But, the speaking and being able to do that, especially if I'm doing teaching videos, my memory is darn good. I can, put together my thoughts and go through it. And then I can it's like reading a script, right? For the educational ones. These are impromptu. Obviously, a reading, I don't know what's going to come up until it comes up, right? So that's all in the moment. But I'm saying more like if I got to remember, I would touch on all these topics. That theater degree has really trained me to, one, be comfortable speaking to an audience, but also to have my memory sharp, right? The writing, I use that for a lot of different things. I mean, writing plays into everyday life. So that's what I'm saying here. You might find that instead of pressuring yourself to go into a profession that aligns with what you were supposed to be at the age of 18, or if you are 18, don't allow yourself to get pressured to have your whole life figured out right now. It's going to ebb and flow, okay? You don't know what the outcome is going to be. So instead of doing that, just know that there's much more value underneath the surface. And it doesn't have to be this sort of surface level, easy puzzle that you're fitting together. I mean, your life is much more complex in a beautiful way. It's multifaceted. All right. Angelsouls444.com if you'd like a personal reading with me. And we're going to leave it there for you. I'm sending you all so much love and take care. Hello, Virgo. Let's see what is going on for all of you. Right off the bat, I don't know why this keeps coming up. Be careful how you treat people. Got a card coming out already, but for some reason, if you're talking over people or if you're being judgmental because you want everything to be perfect, I know that's kind of a stereotype, but I don't know. There's something around that that's coming up and it's not cool and you might have some karma around it. Just be mindful. Careful. Okay, let's go into your reading. I know what y'all did. No. Page of Raphael. Gentle, loving, dreamy, open-hearted. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insights. This also feels a little bit like... I just heard exaggerated. So there's something that's a little bit exaggerated in your life. This isn't normally the card of necessarily being dramatic, but I'm feeling that from the mediumship side. There's something kind of dramatic. You're being emotionally dramatic about it. I need more of the story because I just heard pouting. Like someone's being immature about something, and I think it's you. Oh, Michelle, I'm so offended. How could you? Well, next. Oh, the Empress. Oh, gosh. Okay. This is the number 3. This is about stepping into your wisdom, being in your higher consciousness. This is Ascended Master energy, and it's Archangel Gabriel. Okay. Time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. So this is a graduation of sorts. This is going to be for everybody. Angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading for you to see how this energy is evolving and playing out for you. But it's like a lot of you are starting out as the Page of Raphael. So there's an emotional restart. For some of you, it's not that situation that I was describing. That's just for some people out there. It might have been like, you know what? I don't know who I am outside of a relationship. I've never empowered myself. I'm in a toxic situation. And maybe some of you have just started to go out on your own, whether that's in business, love, maybe you've moved away from family. And it is so that you come into this, Empress energy. There's a big split here with some of the messages. Some of you are acting very immature and you're being disrespectful to people, but think you're the Empress. Okay. That's for about 25% of you. The other 75%, you had a seed of an idea. You're having this emotional restart. You're sort of recalibrating, right? Which then corrects some of the old stuck mechanisms is how they're putting it. And this opens you up so that you can express as the Empress energy, which is creative life force. Okay. Because you haven't felt like you fit in or haven't been heard. 5 of Ariel, you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Now, this card, I say this every time it comes out, his card is typically being left out in the cold. You hear people say that all the time. I always question, what if she's leaving a situation that was supposed to be good for her, so to speak? Okay? Because she's walking away from, it looks like a church in the background. Now, that church... Well, in this case, okay, I never noticed this before. In this case, it looks like clouds almost in the background there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, if it's going to focus. If this were a church, let's say that church tells you your life isn't meaningful unless you're a part of this church. You have to do as we say, and they're controlling you. And there's a lot of horrible stuff that's going on that everyone's supposed to pretend isn't going on. Now, I'm not saying this about every church. I'm just saying as an example. And she might say, you know what? I'd rather take my chances out in the cold at night than stay here and keep pretending. So this could be you getting powerful, getting empowered, and walking away from something. Something that required you to act quite immature. Again, let's go with, I'm going to use work examples because it's just an easy example. Have you ever been in those work environments where everybody's trying to start trouble because I guess they're so freaking bored with their lives and like, oh, instead of just being cooperative and making things nice every day, It's about a power struggle. Well, you might be getting to a place where you're like, I feel like I got sucked into that. And I feel like it has been a power struggle. For some of you, this is definitely family. And now I'm just going to step out of that because it's a waste of energy. You know, it's a waste of energy. And it's not you being self-righteous and going, I don't engage in such things and blah, 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 when you're probably the one who started it. People who act like that are usually the ones who started it. It's more just like, why am I taking this seriously? I have better things to do. And I'm going to go off and do those better things, right? So it has that kind of feeling, but it's a little rough and it's a little back and forth. Angelsouls444.com if you want a personal reading. So we can figure this out. All right. Then we have the Chariot. So there's unlocking, checking yourself a little bit and seeing what your contribution to some of these disagreements have been, and then moving on. You're moving on. We've got the number 7 here. This is Archangelic support coming through for you. The Chariot, Archangel Metatron, who helps you with your timeline, helps you. He's a sacred scribe. So figuring out what kind of story do you want to create for this timeline? Determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. So you're balancing the duality. We have the black and white unicorns there. When they work together, they can be very powerful and they can get a lot of movement going, right? So this is what you are realizing. You're realizing where some of your worry of not fitting in was actually just taking your energy, and you never wanted to fit in the first place because you have somewhere else you need to be. All right. So we're going to leave it there for all of you. I'm sending you so much love and take care. Hello, Libra. Let's see what is going on for you for April 2025. Oh my gosh. I just got an image. I saw a man, actually a young man, and it looks like he has like a little beard and all this stuff. And he's like, shut up. Like he just has a moment where he's just like, shut up, you know, and it's okay. And a lot of people, sorry, let me adjust this. My little microphone has a mind of its own. Sometimes people will get to that place and then everyone else puts judgment on them. I always find that very disturbing because obviously that person got pushed to that point. And anybody who stands around judging, you're probably one of the people who was a problem. Karma will take care of you. Karma will take care of you. So try to be empathetic to others here. Or I think it's probably one of you out there who's like, shut up, you know, like to somebody. Maybe you're saying that to this video. Whatever it is, I just thought that was funny. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Let's see what you have going on. Otherwise, I think it's pretty smooth sailing. We will see solutions. You know what's so funny? I got a story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. My washing machine. Yes, it's about my washing machine. Dang thing was like getting stuck on a cycle. It was driving me nuts and it had to be recalibrated and all these things. And I'm stressing about this. My laundry's piling up and I'm like, oh no, am I going to have to get a repair person down here? Because you know how that goes. You get a repair person, at least the ones around here. They come in, they say, oh, it's working fine. It works a couple times, it breaks down. So I'm in there, I'm doing all the research on YouTube and trying to figure this out. And I determined that I'm very proud of myself, that it was the drain hose. And, you know, I'm doing a lot of things and having to fix it and, you know, get it because there was some water trapped in the machine and all this stuff. So I remedied it and I got it all fixed. And I sat there and I'm like, my goodness, I have spent weeks stressing over this. And yet when I just focused and was calm, I found a solution. It wasn't hard. Okay. And I stressed myself out over this. Why am I telling you this dumb story? I'm telling you this dumb story because this could apply to a lot of areas of your life. What do we stress over that really has an easy remedy? Okay. I'm in the middle of spring cleaning. Stuff's out everywhere. And I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm going, oh, it's so ugly and I hate it. And really, if I just jumped in, it would probably be a couple of hours to get things settled and there would be a solution. Okay, so just take that with you. In this situation, we have the number 14. 14 might be significant to you, but we usually take that 4 and that 1, we would make it a 5 and say this is time of transformation because you finally figured out the way forward. And this is Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel helps you take that energy of worry, of any kind of energy, and transmute it. So in this case and in this example, worrying, stressing, going, oh no, like I'm going to have to get somebody in here and is it going to work? And, I don't really want someone in my house. Sorry, I don't know what people are weird. Okay. Worrying about it when you calm down and you shift that energy, the focus comes along with it, and then a solution can come on in. Okay. Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So that's a lot of what's going on here, and realizing that some things you've just made a lot harder than they need to be. The World. This is now opening up for you. This is beautiful. So we have 21 on here. We will make that a 3. This is opening up your higher consciousness, getting in touch with that higher self, bringing more of that energy into this 3D realm, and maybe even studying some of the ways of ascended masters and understanding that path a little bit more. The World, Archangel Michael, who is our big protector, right? A very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. Something breaks open with the Solutions card and the World card. The worry kept you stuck. The worry kept you stuck. And you're either waking up and realizing it never mattered in the first place, or you're just finding your way through. 3 of Raphael. So there's some support here. There is some support here. And again, it could be people in your life, or, part of why social media is so incredibly powerful is that you see that somewhere out there, there's someone who feels what I'm feeling. There's someone who feels what I'm feeling. Another quick example. You guys get all the long stories. I'm sorry. We'll make it quick. Watching social media, and there's this whole skit about a bunch of friends getting ready to go out to dinner, and one of them says, hey, I want to bring my boyfriend. These girls were all hoping to have like a girls' night out where they could speak freely about the things they're experiencing, and having someone's boyfriend there who maybe they aren't all as comfortable around. They feel like they would have to hold back on what they want to say, right? And I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was always that one in the group of friends where couldn't just have a dinner with your gal pals and have an open conversation. A lot of them would always want to bring their boyfriends, and it was like this programmed brainwash thing that you have to accept it or you're uncool, So for me, just being able to see the skit on social media and all these girls were like, that's crazy that she wants to bring her boyfriend. Like, that's not cool. Made me feel a little validated. And I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy for disliking when people do that, right? So that's just an example of how it doesn't have to be someone in your world where you feel supported. It could be something, that you see online, or you see somebody else who's going through what you're going through, that sort of thing. So 3 of Raphael, reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. So there's something that's lightening up here for you. Okay. It's finally saying enough. I'm not taking this anymore. Or, you know what? I've allowed people to tell me that I was wrong for years and years. No, I'm allowed to feel what I feel. Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, funny. There's so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. So again, there's a lot of support and a lot of help and people who understand you. Okay. And somebody who has a bit of pull, who can give you some guidance or, put in a good word for you with someone else. Angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading. And we're going to leave it there for all of you. I'm sending you so much love, and take care. Hello, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. How you doing? You guys are the big transformers. Okay? Yeah, and we can think of it like Transformers, right? Why the heck not? But when you walk into a room, someone's going to be transformed, even if you don't say anything. Okay. Now, Scorpios can tend to be ones who fall into the pitfall of a power struggle. Okay. And that's why we're really associated with the occult and things like that, because it's, taking a potential and manipulating that energy. If you use it in the wrong way, it's manipulating that energy to have power over someone else. Part of your ascension process is recognizing, realizing, and knowing the power, but knowing how to use it in a proper way for the highest good of all. Yes. And in a lighted path kind of way. So some people love to roll their eyes at that. Then that's just where you are on your path. Period. Be there. I don't know. Just don't bother me. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see what could potentially be coming up for you. Obviously, angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading with me and see how this is going to play out for you specifically. All right. New beginnings. Comment down below. I'm a Scorpio and I want a new beginning. And so it is. Universe. Let's go. I'm right there with you guys. I am a stellium Scorpio in Western astrology. So I know I'm there too. All right. The number is 20. We would make that a 2. We're talking about balance and harmony. So it's going to be really important for all of us to be, aligning our chakras, doing the clearing, not from any sense of like, I'm angry, get rid of the anger, or I'm scared, get rid of the fear, but from the, let me just get back to the real story. My connection with the divine. I'm beyond this story. The story is an embodiment, a fragment of divine energy to play out a scenario and see how it goes, right? Like that's basically, I think, a very simplistic way of putting why we incarnate. There's got to be more to the story. It can't just be that, I know. But new beginnings, Archangel Jeremiah. So you're pausing, reflecting, realizing what works and what does not work, starting a new life, finding your purpose. So if you've been floundering, if you've been lost, a lot of focus comes in right now. A forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So an important part of this is kind of resurrecting yourself. And it's, coming back from a tough situation or something that really tried to tear you apart, or beings that came in and took your energy. That energy is coming back home, cleansed and blessed, and being integrated back into you. And anything anyone has implanted in you will be taken out of you. Set this intention. Take it back out of you. Send it back to the sender with love and blessings. Grumble, grumble. But with with love and blessings, and let it not harm anybody else, right? So that's very nice to be able, if you've been feeling really low, you feel like your manifestations are not coming about, this is a chance to watch it open up again. Yeah. Queen of Ariel, mature, practical, generous, happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. I'm also getting the feeling of a little bit of a glow up here. I know that's like a shallow thing to think about. There's a little bit of a glow up here, but you're stepping into your power. And this is creating and manifesting things to take care of yourself and to make sure you are comfortable in this 3D realm. It's reclaiming your power. I think a lot of people have been walking all over you, and you've always been told that Scorpios are bad because they're super intense and they just get in everyone's face and they're just so this, they're so that. And you're like, you know what? Yep. Hi. We're never mean until someone gives us reason to be mean. And then you had it coming. Okay, you know what I mean? So the Queen of Ariel is kind of stepping into this, stepping beyond all of that and remembering who you are. Okay, Knight of Raphael. So someone quite loves this about you. If you have an existing partner, it's a healthy relationship. This could be a deepening of that connection. Or if you're single, like you stepping into your authentic power, love partner. If you want one, okay? Yeah, in April. I said it. I said what I said. Again, angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading. Because I wouldn't know for sure. And even then, I'm going to be quite honest with you. Even if you get a personal reading, plenty of people have gotten personal readings with me. We've given them a reading and then they don't heed what they need to do in order to make stuff happen. And then they're like, well, the reading was wrong because it didn't happen. You lazy. Like, go, you got to do the work. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. Knight of Raphael, romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. Now, this could very much be falling in love with life too. Like where you're like, oh, I finally feel good about where I'm at, who I am. Nothing's going to stop me. This card has been coming up for everybody. Solutions. It's 14. We make it a 5. Transformation. Okay. Archangel Zadkiel, we're transmuting our energy so that it's more productive for us. Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So this is quite nice. And you're kind of in the flow of all these other signs here where something that has been troubling you finally gets a solution. Something that has been a real problem. Again, maybe it's a job opportunity coming through. Maybe you have a business that takes off. Maybe you've been feeling lonely and then you find a partner or some really good friends, or you see what I'm saying? Like you find a passion or something you could be passionate about. Whatever it is, it's a new lease on life. Oh, finally, right? So we're going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love and take care. Hello, Sagittarius. Let's see what is going on for you for April 2025. If you want to get a personal reading, go to angelsouls444.com. You can sign up there. So let's see here. Okay, a little bit of a clunky start here. A little disorganized. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. There's probably a lot of stuff that needs to be figured out. What is going on here? So these two came out together. The cards were not shuffling very easily. That usually indicates what kind of energy you're going to be contending with. So we have 3 of Raphael. Remember, these came out together. Reasons to celebrate: a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. So there is that, something to celebrate. We like that. And then there's divine guidance, the number 5. This is transformation. It's that connection. You're reconnecting with the divine, and something's telling you to shift into a mode where you can enjoy your life more. Okay, so this is Archangel Sandalphon, who helps us be balanced and harmonized. He's associated with sound healing and attunement, attuning our frequencies through, any kind of modality, solfeggio, tuning forks, singing bowls, that sort of thing. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. And that's funny. It says wise teacher or friends. And then we have the 3 of Raphael, which is associated with having good friends. So I think you are realizing the importance of who you spend your time with and what kind of energy exchange is going on there. 3 of Ariel. Do what you love. I'm telling you guys, I think a lot of people are doing this. It's like a big revolution across the board, but everyone is just going, you know what? No, our lives, we shouldn't go through our lives feeling demeaned or dismissed. And people who go, well, I don't experience that in life. They're either the perpetrators of the negative energy or they're pushovers. I'm not going to lie to you. They're ones that have been incredibly brainwashed to think that always being positive, even if you're fake, that makes you a good person. It doesn't make you a good person. It makes you a fake person. And what good is that? Right? So do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. I love that. I love that. So there's divine inspiration coming in here, and you're being sent the people who can help. And it's not just, I want to make it clear, it's not a transactional thing. It's, hey, someone who comes in who genuinely, cares for you and cares for the work that you do, and you care for them as well. If you guys watched my channel years and years ago, George Corey, he has now since crossed over, bless his soul. He was one of my biggest cheerleaders. And he came to me. He was also a practitioner. And he worked with angels and all that. He was never competitive. We actually would recommend our clients to each other. If I knew that somebody would benefit more from his perspective on things, then I would send them his way. He would do the same for me. I was very, very, very fortunate to be able to do a live interview with him before he passed. And unfortunately, the way I found out he passed was a client had written in their submission form that she had gotten a reading from George before he passed away. And of course, that sent me in a tailspin. And I'm going to the website and, so it was a lot. But he's a perfect example to bring up right now. I hope you all can feel him around you. He's a beautiful soul. that, you could have that kind of real person who's going to come in and they know what you go through. He knew what it was to have tough clients. He knew what it was to be doubted or to be treated like he was silly, even though he was a light on this planet, carrying more understanding and knowledge than most humans will ever understand. He knew that. You're going to have somebody like that too. You're going to have a George with you. I think that's beautiful. Ace of Michael, because you have a great idea that needs to come to fruition. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So something's igniting here. Something's coming to fruition. It might be more towards the end of April before it can get moving, but lots of beautiful things are being unearthed at this time, and it is getting you in the direction you need to be going, and you'll have a beautiful support system. angelsouls444.com for personal readings. We're going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love, and take care. Hello, Capricorn. Let's see what is going on for you for April 2025. I'm seeing a hammock. I'm seeing a beach, honey. I think what that's showing, you could literally be going on vacation, but I think this is showing that you need a break. Everyone needs a break, but especially you. It's time to decompress because some of your creative ideas and creative projects, or just the work that you're trying to do, like, I don't know, it's kind of like metal grinding on metal at this point. A lot of your ideas can't come to fruition because the energy isn't behind it. So you're needing to back up a little bit and regroup. But let's see what these cards have to say about all that. Eight of Michael. Okay, you can be free. So you're very trapped by your own thoughts. You're very trapped by all the work that you've been doing. I don't mean like just career work. I'm talking like, just stuff you're doing around the house, or the pressure you put upon yourself is what they're saying. You can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. So you guys pressure yourself so much, but you might be pressuring other people too, or blaming other people for how you feel. There's a lot going on there. angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading and see how this is working out for you specifically. Okay. The Magician. Yeah. So now you're free. I think you're realizing it. You're like, you know what? I'm overthinking. I am putting too much pressure on myself. I'm putting too much pressure on other people. And it's time to regroup and to not stay trapped. Some of you might be feeling very, very trapped because we have the number 1 on here. 1 is autonomy. It's the innovator. It's being the leader. It's the pioneer. And you might be feeling held back, specifically by games and rules. Games and rules that are implemented to brainwash and program people. And you're saying, no, thank you. No, thank you. We're done with that. All right. The Magician, Archangel Raziel, who's going to help bring some blessings through from maybe dark times. Okay. So you're going to see that even if a job situation was really, really tough, I've had nothing but really rough jobs in the past. Like either some major thing went down, or it's overworked and underpaid, not appreciated, diminished, all that kind of stuff. But even though I got myself out of those situations, I was still ever grateful for what I learned. In some of those jobs, I was a part of history. They published one of the biggest books of all time, and I was there for it, kind of thing. So there's always something to be grateful for. But you can take the good and manifest from that. And that's what Raziel helps you understand, plucking out the good parts from the bad. Yes, you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So you're creating the next step for yourself because now you are free and you're detoxing. Yeah, see, this is that laying in a hammock on a beach kind of thing. I need to chill out. I need to let myself calm and not worry about what everybody thinks or what's going to happen. And I'll give this as an example as well. How many work situations have you ever been in where your heart is racing so fast? Like you could have like a serious medical event because you're so stressed. It's not a joke. Like you could seriously have something awful happen. And I actually said this in one of my jobs. I was getting all stressed out. And then I realized this is all made up. There's no actual emergency here. What's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to be disappointed because they didn't get what they expected. And they might yell. Do I have to care? Well, the worst that could happen, Michelle, is they fire you. Do it. Do it. Because anybody who's going to put you in that state of energy is not worth being around. Plus, you can get a severance package, right? Okay, so 5 of Michael. This situation, I'm all worked up now. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. That's a big takeaway for you. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Okay, so you're detoxing, getting rid of that old thinking so that you can move forward in peace and real power. Here we go. The number 4, stability, guardian angel kind of, atmosphere here, being around you, supporting you. The Emperor, Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel, along with Archangel Michael, is associated with the solar plexus. The solar plexus is how we express. It's the energy we put out into the world. It's our strength and our courage and all the good things, right? Stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. This is where you end up this month. You find yourself, you're regrouping. Some of you may have lost yourselves in some of your situations, and now you're free. So we are going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love, and take care. Hello, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you for April 2025. Everyone is just exhausted. Everyone's coming into April just like, ugh, no more. So fed up. I get it. I totally get it. So let's see what we have for you. Okay. The Empress. Okay, so you're stepping in to divine feminine power. And remember, everybody, no matter what gender you are, you have masculine and feminine within you. Okay? And as you go through your life, one may be more prominent than the other. Or I've had plenty of clients who have been perfectly balanced and harmonized. So this is the number 3. So you're getting into your higher consciousness, expanded awareness. This is Ascended Master energy. And this is Archangel Gabriel. Ready? Here we go. Time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. So already something lovely is breaking open. And if you have not felt like you've been in your power, that's about to change. I'm hearing change drastically. Look at this. 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. Again, this whole sense of being self-made. You created your own blessings. You are, reaping the benefits of your own efforts, right? Like you have brought this on for yourself. You've brought your own victory. Page of Raphael. Gentle, loving, dreamy, open-hearted, a new emotional situation. Because you've reconnected with this beautiful, powerful, divine energy, divine feminine energy, something's awakening. And it's an emotional reset. It's absolutely beautiful. A new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, great intuitive insights. And for you especially, I think it's that great intuitive insights part that is very profound for you, because I think maybe historically you've kind of shut that down, or you've shut it out, you've diminished it, you're afraid that other people are going to call you silly or crazy, and so you ignore it. Listen, hey, yo, I have had plenty of people tell me, like, if I meet someone, and that person can come off as like sweet and gentle and whatever, and I already get a feeling about them like it's a no for me. Like, I don't want to be around that person. And then people will call me crazy and treat me poorly, like actually be quite cruel towards me, because I'm like, yeah, that person's not my cup of tea. And then months down the road, they come back and be like, that person totally stole my boyfriend, or that person totally got me fired, and I'm like, don't come to me with your problems now. I tried to help you prevent the mess, and you thought you knew everything, so keep knowing everything without me. Okay, goodbye. So this Page of Raphael card is you trusting that intuition and not allowing people to throw you off, because what the heck do they know? Like, really? The Wheel. The number 10. So 10 is the graduation. 10 is where we start to see things in our physical realm start to make their way out. Okay, that's where you see the change in the physical world. Does that make sense? The Wheel, Archangel Jeremiah. Jeremiah is about the past. Okay, past lives. The way if you saw past lives in a linear time frame, it would be that. But, the life review part. Where have I been? Where do I want to head from here? New beginnings, which is lovely. End of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So, the wheel is up. You have stepped into this power, but I want to make it very clear. This is you creating it for yourself. Now, that doesn't have to be taken too literally. Angelsouls444.com if you want to see how that plays out for you personally. But don't take it literally, because it could be, a lot of people will be like, oh, that does mean that I'm starting my own business. Well, if you're trying to start your own business, but you haven't really done any of the research, or you're not being grounded in reality, if you want to start a cupcake shop, cupcakes are cute, but you know what? You got to get, the licenses for things. You have to have a fire inspection. You might have to make improvements, and then you got to go and get a loan to make those improvements. And that's going to come with a lot of headache, and you got to get the contractors. And see, it's not just putting frosting on cupcakes, right? So if you could keep that in mind, being very grounded in this, something beautiful is blossoming for you. So we're going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love, and take care. Hello, Pisces. Let's see what is going on for you for April 2025. I hope you're all well. I feel, so a mental scramble. What you're realizing this month is just how people have implanted, and I'm using that word very intentionally, implanted their ideas and their energies into you so that you aren't even your own person anymore. You're kind of being controlled by someone. That's for some of you. For others of you, you're realizing, I'm not built on a soul level to have to live like everybody else, right? Like maybe for you a 9-to-5 just isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. And you're trying to figure out a way forward that makes sense. Let's see. Okay. Your first card out is Queen of Gabriel. You're wanting to create something for yourself. Now, even if some of you, because remember, you aren't just your sun sign or your rising or your moon sign. There's a lot of different things that go into that. So you might be sitting there going, I have an office job and I'm great. Well, it's probably because you're the queen. Are you the boss? Do you get to call all the shots? Yeah, I bet you're doing fine. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. Queen of Gabriel, passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. So this is taking charge. This is stepping into your creative power and using your emotions to your advantage. So what I mean by that is if something feels like it takes energy away from you, that's a red flag and you got to shift. If you feel uplifted by something, you feel energized, you feel like there's this beautiful connection with other human beings, there's a beautiful connection with the work or with the earth or whatever, that's the direction. That's how you use that as a compass. Okay, very simplistic, but helpful. 2 of Michael, this would be someone trying to hold you back. Okay, that's the implementation or somebody implanting an idea or a way of thinking into your mind. It will all be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem, find a compromise. So again, for some of you, this could be actual interference. For others of you, this is you fighting yourself, or maybe you want to strike out on your own, or you want to find a better opportunity for yourself, and someone's telling you, live in a cramped box with me because this is reality. And when you go out there, you're going to find out that, the world swallows you up or whatever weird thing they're going to do to try to hold you back. Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, funny. There's so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. So there is someone here who's going to help you kind of make your decision. Now, I'm putting this in kind of a funny way, but it could be difficult. Do I stay or do I go? Do I go no contact with my family? Or do I find a way to work through my stuff and still have a relationship? Whatever the case may be, someone is here to help you figure that out. Okay. I just saw something drop down from my ceiling, and I really hope that it's not a spider. That's it. I just needed to share that with someone because you're here. I need your emotional support. Thank you very much. We're going to keep going. It just went bloop. Okay, anyway. Okay, anyway. 3 of Gabriel, prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Again, it's a very freeing time for you. Angelsouls444.com if you want to get a personal reading to see how this plays out for you specifically. But for a lot of you watching this, it's an opportunity and it's your turn. It's your time. But she's also leaving. So you're having to leave something behind. Now, that doesn't have to literally mean that you're leaving your city or you're moving out of your house or whatever, but you have to leave the old energy behind. So if there's someone who has been the naysayer, at some point you got to tune them out and think for yourself. So we're going to leave it there for all of you. I am sending you so much love and take care.